Welcome to Umineko no Naku Koro ni When the Seagulls Cry. I have never streamed from my, oh, hold on, I got my friend. Is it working? I hope it is. I've never used OBS before, so this is a bit of a learning curve here. Okay, it looks like I'm probably live, so let me see here. Hopefully my phone doesn't die. Okay, so hopefully this works. No viewers yet, so I don't know. I don't want to start doing this until I know for sure this is working. So just bear with me. Let me wait for some people to get in here. Yeah, I am excited to read this to you all because this is, can you hear me though, Sky? Like, can you hear me talking? I mean, there's not gonna be any sound from the game. Because there's no sound right now. Hold on, I'm guessing they can't hear me. Hold on, I may have to... No, she can't hear me. Shoot. Okay. It's weird. Yeah, because it's acting like I can hear. Hold on, maybe I need to do English. Oh my god, that's so fucking loud. Jesus Christ. No, let's turn that down. Fuck me. Okay. Let's see here. Let's turn this down just a bit. Okay. Okay. This is definitely a learning curve. How about now? Can you hear me? Maybe. Can you hear me? Okay, Roxas, you can hear me talking? Yes? I just want to confirm before I do anything that you can hear me. The seagulls are too loud. Yes. Okay, so we're good. Okay, good, because I've never done this before, so yay, we got it working, yay. Alright, yeah, so this is, Umineko no Naku Koro when they cry. Some of you probably have seen the anime, some of you have not. I enjoyed the anime, but I read some of the visual novel first, and obviously there's so much content they had to cut a lot out, but I reckon anytime someone's like, oh, what visual novel should I read, this is like the top of my list. It is so good, like it's my favorite. I'm really excited to be able to do this. Okay, so let's look at the controls here. Well, that's not what I want, but okay, start. Welcome to Rokkenjima. Begin a new game. Spinning games cost blah blah blah, yeah. Oh, the nostalgia for this. Okay. We're gonna start with episode 1. We're gonna go in order. Ah! I'm so excited. Oh, Rox, you're going into this blind. Oh my god, you are in for a treat. You are in for a treat. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm just gonna read the first chapter because I have to work tomorrow, so I can't go too in depth with this. But you guys get to suffer through my horrible voice acting again. So this is episode 1, Legend of the Golden Witch. Welcome to Rokkenjima. The Golden Witch extends her heartfelt greetings. Please, take it easy and relax for the time being. There's no need to think overly hard about any of this. Quietly accept all that is about to happen. That is all that's being asked of you. The difficulty level is standard. You might as well at least start by taking the easy road. Alright. Oh god, these sound effects. This brings back so many memories, oh my god. Okay, yes, there's a tips mode. We'll be popping in here every once in a while. I'm going to change this to the old sprites. I'll show you guys the new ones too, but I prefer the old sprites. I know some people like to make jokes that, Ryukishi's drawings, they have like ham hands or whatever, but I like the old sprites. They like seem more alive. They have more character to them. I like them more than this. The story is very obviously fictional and fantastic in nature. Any resemblance to existing individuals, organizations, locations, blah blah blah, entirely coincidental. None of this is real. Okay. Hold on, the music's a little loud. Original! Yes, that's better. Okay, system. Follow me. Go to this a little bit. Down just a tad. Okay. There we go. I know I talk quiet, so I just want to make sure. Yeah, get used to that sound. Okay. Again. So, you still haven't overcome your love of alcohol. The old physician let out a sigh as he removed the stethoscope. 2 elderly men could be seen in the dimly lit study, which was filled with dust and a sickly sweet stench. In the corner of this room, which was much larger than what most people would call a study, was an expensive-looking bed, a man undergoing a medical examination, and the physician conducting it. There was also what appeared to be a servant watching over the whole scene. Okay, hold on, and we will show... That's him! Go back, he looks older there. The Baltul is my friend. It is no less of a friend than you, and it has stood by my side even longer than you have. As the man burying his chest for the stethoscope rearranged his clothes, he spoke unapologetically. Kinzo-san, your body only appears to be well thanks to the effects of the medicine. However, if you continue to drink such strong spirits, the treatment will become meaningless. Trust my judgment. Refrain from drinking. Doctor's orders, dude. I thank you, though only for the sentiment, my friend. Genji, another glass. Water it down slightly. That way Nanjo can save face. So this is Nanjo. He's the doctor. Are you quite sure? After eyeing both the master who demanded the alcohol and the family doctor who forbade it, Genji, the old butler, silently gave a slight nod and carried out his master's orders faithfully. Okay, let's see if, Oh, nope, they're not on there yet. Okay, hold on. Family Doctor Nanjo let out a deep sigh once again as he watched the butler busy himself alongside the liquor cabinet. There was a smell filling up the room. This sweet, poisonous aroma felt as though it melted the heart, if not the soul itself. It was the smell of that venomous green drink that the man couldn't bear to part with. Absinthe! Nanjo, you are my close friend, and we have known each other for quite a long time. I am deeply grateful for all that you have done to keep me alive this long. I have done nothing. After all, you never listened to my advice as your physician. And you never listen when I warn you about a mistaken chess move you're about to make. It seems only fair, does it not? Master, thank you. I wouldn't die if I ran out of your medicine, but I would if I ran out of this. Disregarding Nanjo, who had his face set in a resigned expression, Kinzo took the glass that Genji was holding out to him. Very few people would associate that venomous color with an alcoholic beverage. Nanjo, be honest with me. How much time do I have left? Well, now... How short must I make it to convince you to set the bottle aside? Nanjo once again let out a sigh of resignation. Then he finally spoke to Kinzo as the latter swirled his glass. You don't have long. What precisely do you mean by that? Let us illustrate it with the chess game here. You have very nearly achieved checkmate, but you have not yet cornered my king. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on one second. Hey. Okay, I'll let him know. Yeah. I'll make sure. Yeah, yeah. Just joking, but yeah. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I know, I'm gonna go in bed. Yeah, love you too. Alright, sorry. I seem to get interrupted. Okay. Let us illustrate it with the chess game here. You have very nearly achieved checkmate, but you have not yet cornered my king. Nanjo's gaze was directed at a side table with a massive chess set placed on top of it. Judging by the positioning of the pieces, the game seemed to be entering its final stage. Black's rook and bishop were cutting deeply into enemy lines. White's king had already been castled and cornered, so that even an amateur could see that the match would reach its conclusion before too long. Every time Nanjo came to give a medical examination, both of them would make a few moves. Nanjo was hinting that Kinzo would most likely fall into his eternal sleep before this game could be concluded. These were less the words of a physician than they were the words of an old friend. Were you a normal patient, I would recommend that you write a will at this point. And what is a will, Nanjo? handwritten instructions to the vultures on how to devour and scatter my corpse? No, not at all. As the word suggests, it is a way for you to record your will for later generations. It is far more than just a means to divide up your inheritance. Oh, and apart from the division of the inheritance, what might I write of? You might write of your regrets, or matters you have left unfinished, things you want to pass down to others, or merely matters you wish to communicate. Anything you want. Things I want to pass down to others or matters I wish to communicate? Ridiculous. I, Ushiromiya Kinzo, have not one thing I want to tell or leave behind. I was born with nothing. I will die with nothing. There's nothing I wish to leave to my foolish children. Even if the end were to come today, even if it were to come right now, I would accept that fate of death without a trace of fear. I created everything. My fortune, my prestige, everything. Those were built up by me, and they will be lost along with me. There's nothing I wish to leave behind. Nothing. After I'm gone, I care not if it all goes to waste. I desire no tomb, no coffin. Those were the terms of the contract I made with the witch. When I die, everything will be lost. That has been part of the promise since the beginning, and that's why nothing will be left behind. There's nothing I can leave behind. After reaching a furious crescendo, Kinzo suddenly slumped over. His expression was limp and feeble, as though an evil spirit had possessed him and then left. However, I do have one regret. I have nothing to leave behind, but there is one thing that I cannot leave undone. You would do well to write it down. Of course, it would be best if you could finish it before your time comes. However, even if the worst happens, those who come after you will carry it to completion. You must leave behind your regrets so that they can be resolved even if you are unable to do so yourself. That is the purpose of a will. When Nanjo tried to gently pat Kinzo's shoulder, the dying man flew into a sudden rage and batted away Nanjo's hand. It's useless, useless, useless! It must be done while I still live. At the moment of my death, my soul will be devoured by the demons of the contract and wiped out of existence. For me, there will be no peace or another world after death. That's why everything must be completed before I go. That's why a will has no meaning for me. And even if I had a chance to write such a thing, if I did have such a chance, I'd want to see it. I want to see it one more time. I want to see Beatrice's smiling face one last time. Oh, Beatrice, why have you resisted me for so long? I'll return everything you have given me. I am prepared to lose everything. So please, show me your smile just one more time. Beatrice, I beg of you. You must be able to hear my plea. That's the kind of woman you are. I beg of you, show yourself to me. You're here, aren't you? You're standing there, invisible, listening to every word I say, and even now you're mocking me from somewhere in this room, aren't you? Please, appear before me once more and smile. Feel free to scold me, even snatch away my life by your own hands if you so desire. I don't want to die alone like this. I cannot let myself die until I've seen your smile just one more time. Oh, Beatrice, Beatrice! I offer up this life of mine. I offer it up to you. I'm begging you, Beatrice! Okay, so this is a mystery. So feel free to speculate your heart out and try to figure out the whodunit and all of that. Well, there's a whodunit, but then there's also, well, you guys will see it later, but yeah, feel free to speculate. Yeah, it's, I mean, I couldn't figure it out. But there was one, shout out to Jokrono on YouTube. He and his, him and his friend, they read this, or did a let's play of this, and he actually figured it out, and it kind of blew my mind because I couldn't do it, so kudos to him. Welcome to Rokkenjima. The first day, October 4th, 1986. Whoa! Things sure move with the times. I can't believe we'll be able to make the trip in just 20 minutes. I couldn't help but scratch my head and marvel at how far things have come in recent years. We used to go by boat. Back then we were all forced to endure nearly half a day of swaying back and forth over the sea before we reached Nijima. Things have gotten so much more convenient these days. Still, I've never been on a plane this small. I've flown in a huge jumbo jet before, but this will be my first experience in such a tiny one. It's gonna shake, isn't it? They say smaller boats shake more than big ones, so I guess the same rule probably applies to planes. Just spare me. Don't worry, Battler-kun. It shakes much less than that boat did. Gah! Is that you, George Eniki? Don't scare me like that. You just shaved 3 years off my life. Anyway, what's shaking got to do with anything? You don't think I'm actually scared of the plane shaking or maybe falling out of the sky or something, right? Oh, of course not. My mistake. I see you've changed a lot since we last saw you. After all, it's been 6 years since then. You're not a kid anymore. Sheesh, and here you are, old enough to smoke and drink. I've got no interest in smoking, but I've always wanted to try some booze. Well, if you've got your dad's genes, I'll bet you can hold your own when it comes to drinking, right? Wow. Well, I usually drink for business rather than pleasure. It's pretty hard to do business in Japan without it. That's exactly right. That's why I never miss a chance to get in some practice. That's no good, Battler-kun. You're still a minor. Don't you know alcohol can stunt the growth of... never mind. Come on, I'm tall enough already. In fact, it'd be easier to find clothes if I shrunk a little. I puffed my chest out proudly. Until I hit my growth spurt, my height was below average in my class. But then I grew and grew, and before I knew it, I'd passed 180 centimeters, which is 5 feet 11. I guess I have all that muscle training and those shady mail-order performance-enhancing drugs to thank for that. Wow! He takes steroids. Before then, I never dreamed that I'd shoot 10 centimeters above George Eniki, who'd reached his peak height early on. Damn, I'll bet my relatives all say, "Look how big you've grown, Battler-chan," or something. It's also embarrassing. I wish they'd just give me a break. Anyway, my name, Battler. Well, it's pretty damn weird, don't you think? I've got to wonder what my parents were thinking when they named me that. I've never met anyone who could read it right the first time. I usually get called Sento-kun. Sorry, but that's not even close. My name is written, and then there's kanji. Can you read it? There's, yeah, kanji. Their names are kind of like a play on words, I think. The first part is my family name, Ushiromiya. That's a fairly plausible Japanese pronunciation so far. The problem is my given name. This is made up of the characters for fight and person, and it's pronounced Battler. Put it all together, and you've got Ushiromiya Battler. Pretty crazy, right? It's crazy enough that my parents decided to call me that, but it's even more crazy that some government worker let them make it official. Both groups are at the top of my must-kill list. Okay, so, going to our tips. Ushiromiya Battler, the son of Rudolph and his first wife, Asumu. When his father married a second wife shortly after Asumu's death, Battler rebelled and went to live with his grandparents on his mother's side. However, both of these grandparents passed away, and he has now returned to the Ushiromiya family after 6 years. This family conference is a chance for him to renew his friendship with his cousins after a 6-year gap. Anyway, this is one of my cousins. His name is... kanji? Pronounced Ushiromiya George. He's 5 years older than me, so he must be turning 23 this year. So that means Battler is 18. Since the Ushiromiya cousins consist of 2 boys and 2 girls, I ended up playing with George all the time. And because I've always thought of him as a big brother, I still call him Aniki today. So let's look at George. Shiromiya George, Eva and Hideyoshi's son. An affable young man liked by everyone in the family. He is currently studying as an assistant for his father's company, and it seems he dreams of making it on his own one day. As the oldest of the 4 cousins, he acts as their leader and arbitrator. "Oh, Battler-kun, look how big you've gotten. You know what they say, leave a boy for 3 days and you'll hardly recognize him." It must be in his blood. Rudolph wasn't that tall either until his high school years. Perhaps people end up taller if their growth spurt comes late. Nah, it's nothing special. A real man needs to be tough on the inside too. Exactly. Battler-kun here knows how it works. Real men win or lose based on what they've got on the inside. Can't ever forget to keep up your training and discipline. You gotta do that. Wait very alertly for the perfect moment and strike. Now I never even imagined that I'd become the company president I am today, master of my own domain. Yep, to think I've come this far after starting out penniless and ruined. This stout, plump old guy is George Aniki's dad, Uncle Hideyoshi. He's the husband of Dad's older sister. In other words, we're not blood related. He's nice to children, sociable all the time, and even quick to give out some spending money to his kids. Simply put, he's an awesome uncle. Like my Uncle Mark, he's pretty cool too. He speaks in an odd and very noticeable Kansai dialect, but he's actually a natural-born Kanto man. Apparently, impressions are everything in the business world, so speaking in a different style than other people is an act that makes him stick out more. However, I hear he gets embarrassed for talking within earshot of a real Kansai person, so he switches back to standard Japanese. I don't really get it, but he's definitely an interesting person. And we'll check his little thing out. Shiromiya Hideyoshi, Eva's husband. He took his wife's name upon their marriage and became a member of the Shiromiya family. He therefore does not possess the spiteful genes passed down through his Shiromiya family members, and his bright smile is very refreshing at the family conferences. He started his business from scratch and now works as the president of a medium-sized restaurant chain. This chain seems to be growing and performing extremely well. If only you weren't so quick to brag about your life story. That's enough for now, I think. I'm sure Battler's getting tired of it. Aren't you? Nope, not at all. Hee. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's pretty cool for a man to have some stories he can brag about. I don't have anything like that at all. Oh, really? I'd imagine a man with your looks would leave girls crying left and right. I can't believe you have nothing at all to brag about. What? You're joking, right? Of course nothing weird like that's ever happened to me. Heck, I wish it would. Come on, you aren't fooling anyone. You must tell your aunt all about it later. After all, nothing of the sort ever happens to George. This is George Aniki's mother, Aunt Eva. She's my dad's older sister. She and Uncle Hideyoshi are a pair of jokers, and they've always teased me back as far as I can remember. This sometimes made them a bit hard to get along with when I was small. Well, I guess the events of the last 30 seconds proved that they could still be hard to get along with. Even so, George Aniki's family is interesting and fun, and they seem to get along just fine. Sheesh, that's pretty much the total opposite of my family. Okay, so we'll... Eva. Shiromiya Eva, Kinzo's second child. She is hostile towards her brother Kraus and opposes him whenever she can, from issues dealing with the family fortune to the question of who will succeed the family headship. Normally, she would have lost her place in the Shiromiya family register upon her marriage, but she managed to forcibly overcome this by having her husband take her family name. She's wearing pants, like... Oh. Hold on. Oh my god, boobs. Jesus Christ. That's an unrealistic, shirt. Who does that? Okay, whatever. Battler-kun, have you seen Rudolph-san? Huh? Oh, whoops. He headed off to the bathroom a while ago. Is he not back yet? Maybe the poor geezer dropped dead. Namu namu namu. That's no way to talk about your own father. Still, this isn't the first time he's taken so long in the bathroom. Yeah, the guy's always been that way. Does he really have to take a magazine with him every time he needs to take a dump? And what on earth's he doing in there with those particular magazines? Oh, you don't need to worry about that at all. Since we've been together, I haven't let him do that on his own. Oh god, this is so inappropriate. But you don't talk to your stepson about this. Like, oh, I'll have to get the juicy details later. Sounds like Dad's got his balls in an iron grip. Oh my god. Battler, why? Why? You know exactly what would happen with that man if I didn't keep a tight grip, don't you? No kidding. You're the only one capable of reining in that old bastard. As his son, I'm more than happy to let you take over. Yes, leave it all to me. After all, that's my specialty. This woman is my father's wife. Her name is Zushiromiya Kirie. As you could probably tell from our conversation, she's not my real mother. She's basically my stepmother. My real mom died 6 years ago, and Kirie-san is the woman Dad married afterwards. It's understandable for someone my age. I could never bring myself to call his new wife Mom, and I doubt she feels like using the word son on this massive kid who's no relation to her at all. We aren't little kids. We know there's nothing to be gained by fighting, so we decided that we wouldn't force ourselves to pretend that we're family. I've decided to act a bit more frank with her, acting as though she's a friendly neighbor instead. It's much easier if we just keep a little distance, instead of forcing ourselves to act all close and making each other uncomfortable. Kirie-san has always been very open about all this, and thanks to that we've been able to get along pretty well. Then, just as when we were bad-mouthing Dad about being in the bathroom, the man himself came back, wiping his hands with a handkerchief. Battler. Hey, what's up, Dad? Wow. Don't pinch my ear, gah! So you've been talking trash about me with Mom again, haven't you? What makes it so hard to show a little respect for your father, Ow, damn it, that hurts. You can stretch my ear all you want, but I'm not going to be able to fly. That hurts. Come on now. Up, down, left, right. Now say, Father, please forgive me for being so rude. Let's see what he looks like. Like hell I will. Go find yourself some members-only store if you want it that much. God, let go! This old bastard is my dad. I think I'm pretty tall myself, but Dad's just about as tall as I am. So surprised Aunt Ava started talking about Dad's blood when she saw my height. By the way, my height isn't the only thing I got from him. Seems having weird names runs in the family. Dad's full name is written... and this. You can't read it, can you? Come on, it's just... whatever this is. Anyway, this guy's name is pronounced Rudolph. Haha, he must hate grandfather for giving him that name. Still, that's no reason to pass that weird naming tradition on to me. As old bastard twisted my ear all over the place, Aunt Ava stuck up behind him and grabbed his ear. Hey, Rudolph, you should know better than to physically abuse your son. God, that hurts, Aniki! This scene perfectly illustrated the relationship between the prankster younger brother and the older sister who could deal out punishment to him despite his size. I think that's good enough for now, Ava-ne-san. I'll make sure to stretch out his other ear later on. Oh, my apologies. I must leave some pulling for you to do, Kirie-san. Rudolph, make sure Kirie-san gives you lots and lots of punishment later on, okay? You want to talk, Aneki, abusing your little brother like that? Hideyoshi, Nii-san, I'd like to thank you very much for picking her up. If you hadn't been so generous, she'd still be unsold in the store. Whoa, ouch! My gratitude and apologies. What? Who are you calling unsold? After taking 2-3 steps back, Aunt Ava unleashed one of her beautiful high reverse roundhouse kicks, which stopped just a centimeter away from the tip of Dad's nose. After starting out with Tai Chi Chuan for her figure, Aunt Ava then developed an interest in the Chinese martial arts. After that, she went through karate, taekwondo, capoeira. What is it she's learning now again? Well, anyway, they say a woman's weapons are in her lower body, and that's literally true for Ava. Rudolph? Did you know that a single direct blow to the side of the head like that would knock you unconscious? Not so long ago, I accidentally connected in a practice match, and my opponent was out cold. Sheesh, what a pain. I'm so sorry she can't help walking like a freak. Dad, completely unfazed, shrugged and smiled ironically at Uncle Hideyoshi. Ah ha ha ha! Never had a brother or sister myself, so when I see you two bickering with each other, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It sure is nice to have a big family. Oh, then why not consider making a little brother for George-kun? He's already a fine adult who's about to go off on his own, so it might be a good time to have another child. Hey, have a little sympathy for the new kid and all the pain and suffering he'd have to live through. I'm surprised even George couldn't turn out as well as he did after being born from this sinister sister of mine. And what an awesome kid he is. Please share some of that with our blockhead of a son someday, will you? That's not at all how it happened. It's thanks to Eva Nasan's proper rearing that George-kun became the kind, gentle kid he is now. Isn't that right, Nasan? Oh, come now. You think so? Our George still has a long way to go. By the way, how's your little Anj-chan doing? I heard she was vomiting? Oh, that's right. I was hoping to finally see her face after such a long time. Is she okay? Oh, she often catches a cold when the seasons change. She's very frail. I did want to bring her along, but we decided to have my family look after her this time. I think that's a wise move. She'll heal a lot better if she stays away from that venomous head family household. A child's health is always more important than an adult's convenience, don't you think? That's true. I know of some great medicine for vomit and colds like that. When we get back home, I'll send some to you right away, so please let her try some. Thank you very much, Hideyoshi Nia-san. I'm always in your debt. Okay, so hold on. Oop. Okay. Rudolph. Shiromiya Rudolph, Kinzo's third child. Along with his sister Eva, he intends to make his voice heard during the family conference to prevent their oldest sibling, Kraus, from keeping all of their father's wealth for himself. His former wife, Asumu, passed away 6 years ago, and he married his current wife, Kyrie, shortly after that. And once the conversation suddenly veered off in that direction, we kids didn't have any chance of butting in. For now, I'm just happy Aunt Eva gave Dad his just desserts for tugging in my ear. Are we still waiting for the weather report? George and Nikki pointed at the counter. The checking weather sign was still stuck next to the departure times for the flight we were scheduled to board. According to Aniki, smaller planes are more subject to winds and other effects of the weather. It's not at all uncommon for flights to be delayed because of that. Wait a sec, we are totally sure it's not going to shake, right? From down here on the ground, it just looks cloudy, not windy. Well, I guess it's different up where the planes fly. The weather's a bit uncertain today. Aunt Eva looked at a TV in the lounge. The weather forecast was being broadcasted, informing us that a typhoon was approaching the Kanto region. A typhoon again? Guess there's no helping it with the annual family conference being held in October. Couldn't he have chosen a better season? I agree. I've always hoped we could have it sometime around the Oban festival in mid-August. In that case, why don't you suggest that to Father and Nissan during the conference? Very funny. Why don't you do it yourself? Our brother would never listen to anything I suggested. No way. It doesn't really bother me that much to have it in October. I was just saying you might want to propose it since you said you hate typhoons so much. I only said that typhoons always come around this time of year. You're the one who said you wanted to move it to the Oban festival, right? Well, you said it too last year. Didn't you say that it would be easier to fit into your schedule if we had it during the Oban festival? Never said anything like that. Oh, yes, you did. I certainly wouldn't forget something like that. No, I didn't. You're the one saying that all the time. Didn't you know? Stopping a kick just a hair's breadth away from impact is a very high-level technique. Sheesh, women your age shouldn't spread their legs like that. Dad and Aunt Ava's argument looked no different from a couple of brats quarreling. God, the dude's sexist. Even though they usually behave like normal parents, they turn right back into kids again when they meet their siblings at these family conferences. You're the one who looks like a real adult analyzing it all calmly. I hope I never turn out like that old bastard. I'd much rather end up as an intellectual adult like you, Nikki. Like me? Oh, I still have a long way to go. I still have very little experience out there in the real world, and I need to work on becoming more confident and sociable. I think you've far surpassed me on all of those counts, Battler-kun. I'm sure you'll outstrip me fast enough when you become an adult. George Aniki scratched his head and laughed as though trying to hide his embarrassment. Of course he was just being humble. Aniki entered a university and became an apprentice at Uncle Hideyoshi's company at the same time, studied both academics and how to become a business emperor in parallel. Then, right after graduating, he got into Uncle Hideyoshi's company as his father's aide, piling up a lot of real-life experience as he devoted himself zealously to his work. His great dream is to one day stand on his own and build up his own kingdom. Aniki is a real paragon of a man, sparing no effort as he strives towards his goal. It's no exaggeration to say that I really respect him. And then there's me. I'm nothing at all like Aniki. I'm living my happy-go-lucky idle high school life to the max. I've got no dreams for the future. I like to just sit back, stay cool, and let the money flow in, but of course that could never happen. When Aniki was my age, he had already formed an impressive objective, and had started devoting himself towards studying for that goal, so I guess I can't compare at all. My dad just says, sure, you could study at my company if you like cleaning toilets. Damn it, I'm not going to be in the debt of that old bastard. I'll find my way myself. If only willpower was all it took to become an adult. Should I go on one of those self-searching journeys that are all the rage these days? Well, it's not like I can mooch off my parents for that kind of money. Or could you? Right then, Uncle Hideyoshi shouted out loudly. He's a really nice person on the whole, but he does have a problem controlling the volume of his voice. When I looked over, I saw that he was greeting Aunt Rosa, who had come late. Oh! If it isn't Rosa-san! Maria-chan! Long time no see! Long time no see! Ooh! Maria! Shouldn't that be it's good to see you again? Greet your uncle properly. Ooh, it's good to see you again. There you go! Well said. How about some candy as a reward? Oh, huh? Where'd I put it? Rosa-san, it's good to see you again. It's good to see you too, Maria-chan. It's been too long, Kirie-ne-san, Hideyoshi-ni-san. And, oh my, Battler-kun? Look how big you've gotten. Ah, come on. It's embarrassing hearing that from every person I meet. Hey, Rosa, you're late. If the plane was on time, you'd barely have made it. I'm sorry. We had some trouble making our train connection. So are we waiting on the weather again? Oh, don't complain. I much prefer the 30-minute plane trip to spending 6 hours bouncing about on a boat. Even if we're kept waiting here for an hour, it's still much faster overall. Maria-chan's gotten huge too! So, how tall are you now? Let's see what she looks like. Ah, she's so little, so cute! Ooh, so how tall am I now? Maria-chan parroted Uncle Hideyoshi's question, looking up at her mother. I guess she doesn't remember her own height. She's probably right in the middle of a growth spurt, so her height must change every month. Give it a few more years and she'll suddenly start looking feminine. And we'll see what Rosa looks like, too. Their sprites aren't that bad. Just how tall were you the last time you got measured? You keep getting bigger and bigger, don't you? Right? Ooh! I think she's grown a lot since last year. Oh, I forgot to... Let's go back. Those boobs terrify me. I think she's grown a lot since last year. Let's see, she turned 9 years old this year, didn't she? 9 years old. Ooh. That's right, you're 9 years old now. Glad to see you're doing well too, Maria-chan. Up you go. I guess you've gotten a bit too heavy to play airplane with. Georgia Nikki, what a rude thing to say to a lady. Here, I'll do it. Up you go. Ooh. When I went to lift her up in Aniki's place, Maria stiffened defensively, staring suspiciously at my face. Ah, that's right. Last time I met Maria, it was 6 years ago, and she was only 3 years old. Of course she doesn't remember my face. Maria-chan, don't you remember? It's Battler-kun. You used to play together, remember? Ooh. No surprise, I guess. Last time she met Battler, she was only 3. You don't keep memories at that age. She must know everyone's face apart from mine because she meets them every year, but I haven't had contact with the Shiromiya family for about 6 years now, so it's no surprise that this 9-year-old girl doesn't have any memories of me. Even I can only just barely remember her being a 3-year-old crybaby. Maria, this is Battler Oni-chan, Rudolph-Nisan's son. Understand? The brother's son is... The brother is the son. Ooh. That ooh sound was probably her brain going into overload at that complicated explanation. I guess the phrasing of that was a bit confusing. Ni or Oni, the title you'd use to refer to an actual older brother, could also be a friendly honorific for a boy who's only a bit older than you. It's just like Ne or One, the word for big sister. Maria-chan, this is Battler-kun. He's your cousin, like me. Like George Oni-chan? Battler? Cousin? Ooh, that's right. You got it. This part of Iniki is what makes me really look up to him. For someone who isn't married, he's just great at dealing with kids. I'm sure he'll be an indulgent father in the future. Battler Oni-chan? Maria looks straight at me with a questioning expression as though asking whether it was okay to call me that. Yep, that's me, Battler. Nice to meet you, Maria. Ooh, Battler! Maria. You mustn't talk to him like that. Call him Battler Oni-chan. That's right, Japanese, they're all about honorifics. That's alright, Aunt Rosa. I don't sweat the small stuff. Hey, Maria, we're close enough that we don't need honorifics, right? Battler, Battler, Battler! Ooh, ooh! That's right, Maria, Maria, Maria! Ooh, ooh! We horsed around for a while to make up for the 6-year gap in our friendship. She probably still thinks of me as nothing more than a big new friend, but things will probably work out as we get to know each other again. But I'm surprised. She's just the way I remembered her being 6 years ago. Seems like people just don't change that much after all. I'm a bit happy that she's still the pure innocent girl I remember. Her name is written... this. Of course, this is pronounced Maria. The third character looks like a cross, which is pretty cool. Her feelings don't usually show up on her face, so it can be difficult to know just what she's thinking. That's just how she looks on the outside. On the inside, she's just a sweet, normal girl. So... Shiromiya Maria, Rosa's daughter. Her father's identity is unknown. She can't shake off the habit of speaking like a young child, which often earns her a scolding. She has no interest in studying or making friends, but is very interested in things concerning the occult and black magic. Thanks to her excellent powers of memorization, she knows all kinds of obscure trivia. I like her little crown, it's super cute. And Shiromiya Rosa, Kinzo's fourth child. She is by far the youngest of the 4 siblings. It seems that this gives her a weaker position at the family conference. She manages a design company, but she has yet to start taking it seriously, and its financial situation is far from favorable. Then there's Maria's mother, Aunt Rosa. She's my dad's younger sister. Rosa is written... that. Here's a name that's totally not Japanese. Sorry to say it, but her name's almost as ridiculous as Dad's. I've got to respect her for not ending up as screwed up as he is. When I think about it, all the names of my family sound foreign. Just why is Grandfather so obsessed with that? Because of him, even we grandchildren have to put up with this weird naming sense. It's even more annoying since Grandfather's own name is perfectly normal. Anyway, there's one thing about Aunt Rosa that's a relief compared to the other family members. Old Bastard and Aunt Ava have this annoying urge to tease and mock people all the time. But even though she shares their blood, Aunt Rosa isn't like that at all. She has the most common sense among all the siblings. Like Uncle Hideyoshi, she's a kind aunt who will always be on the kid's side. However, possibly because she's more strict as a parent, she's not liberal with handing out spending money like Uncle Hideyoshi. Okay, now we have the entire group of family members who are going to board the plane. At that moment, as though it had waited for us all to arrive, an announcement rang out through the lobby. Our apologies for the delay. Boarding will now commence for Flight 201 to Nijima. We ask that the passengers please form 2 lines in front of the counter, behind the white line. Rosa, you still haven't gone through boarding procedures, right? Hurry up. Oh no. Maria, come on. Ooh. We had to go through a metal detector before going out on the runway. Our small plane wasn't as massive as an international flight, but it was still a plane. A staff member holding a metal detector checked us all. Once all of us cleared the check, we followed the staff member out onto the runway. Come to think of it, everyone here is in the Shiromiya family. It's like this is a reserved charter flight or something. Our group stopped in front of the entrance to the airplane. Then our guide turned around and spoke, looking down at the passenger list as he did. This is just to kind of refresh you who all the characters are so far. Boarding will now commence. As I call out the names on the passenger list, please take your seats in order, starting from the front row on the right side and going right to left, then on to the next row. I will now begin reading the passenger list. Shiromiya Hideyoshi-sama. Oh, I'm first. Right here. By the way, do you have some candy, Ava? I've been looking all over for some, but I can't find any. Shiromiya Ava-sama. They're in my handbag. I'll get one once we're inside the plane. I've heard that candies are a good way to protect your ears from hurting because of variations in atmospheric pressure when landing or taking off. It's probably what they're talking about. Hope I get a window seat. Don't worry. There aren't any other kinds of seats. As Georgianiki said, there were apparently only 2 lines of seats, so this is what a small plane is like. We are totally sure it's not gonna shake, right? Ushiro Miya George-sama. Right here. Don't worry, Battler-kun. It won't shake too much. Ushiro Miya Battler-sama. Aniki, what do you mean not too much? You could just swim if you fall from a boat, but if a plane crashes, you're screwed, right? We all get our own parachutes in our seats, don't we? Wait, we don't? Ushiro Miya Rudolph-sama. Come on, Battler, stop staying there slack-jawed and get in. Ow, Dad, don't push me. We don't get parachutes. Ushiro Miya Kirie-sama. Okay, you two, stop fooling around. Let's move on in. Ow, Kirie, don't push me. This blockhead isn't moving. Ushiro Miya Maria-sama. Ooh, let's move on in. Ushiro Miya Rosa-sama. Maria, be quiet. This is your pilot, Kawabata. We'd like to thank you for taking New Tokyo Aviation's Flight 201 today. We estimate that the flight to Nijima Airport will take about 20 minutes. We are receiving reports of atmospheric turbulence. There may be some shaking of the aircraft, so we ask that you do not unfasten your seatbelts after takeoff. Aniki, did that guy just say we needed to wear seatbelts? In a jumbo jet, they let you undo them after takeoff, right? So it's going to shake so much we can't take them off? Damn it, you tricked me! It's going to shake after all! Where are the parachutes? I knew I should have taken the boat! Legend of the Golden Witch. Shiromiya Battler. Shiromiya George, Shiromiya Jessica, Shiromiya Maria, Shiromiya Kinzo, Shiromiya Kraus, Shiromiya Eva, Shiromiya Natsui, Shiromiya Hideyoshi, Shiromiya Rudolph, Shiromiya Rosa, Shiromiya Kirie, Nanjo Teramasa, Shannon, Goda Toshiro, Rinoue Genji, Keden, Kumasawa Chiyo. Okay. So I am going to save. And we are going to go ahead and yep. So we will pick up on this next Friday because I need to go to bed. So hope you guys have a good night, good weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Practice social distancing. Try not to get too crazy. But we all do our part. We will all get through this. So thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitch, which is what I'm streaming on. I will put this on YouTube. And it looks like, well, I'll probably announce in the next video I do on Monday what the winner of the poll was, but, for the anniversary stream, so we'll see how. So that'll be exciting. Alright guys, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night.